What up, Slackers? I'm Matt.
And I'm Jesse. We're the host of American Slacker, a weekly show that discusses the weirdest in world events.
We cover UFC, the latest in technology, Xbox games, entertainment, and music reviews.
We have conversations with musicians, actors, filmmakers, and other interesting guests.
Twist one up or crack one open with us every Monday to start your work week off right. That's it.
There you go.
It's another great day for another great edition of Dudes with Brews on a Porch. We join our host and friend Drew as he brings another special guest right here on the porch. Who's he gonna bring? What are they gonna talk about? And what are they gonna drink? Well, what are you waiting for? Come on up. It's Dudes with Brews on a Porch. But I've never mastered it at all.
Are we on?
Yeah, it's on.
Oh, we're rolling?
We're rolling.
You snuck that in there.
Snuck it in, try to ease our way into it.
Oh, all right. Well, off we are.
Here we are with my friend Sam.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good.
In this new place?
Yeah. It's
Don't worry, we weren't talking about your landlord. So.
Yeah, no. He's a really cool guy.
Yeah. This is a cool spot.
I don't have any qualms with his landlordship in any sort of way, shape, or form.
But yeah,
I'm definitely gonna be shoveling tomorrow.
Good.
So that's
you have to shovel.
It's a team effort between myself and my landlord to get the shoveling done.
Really? Do you get like a discount on rent for shoveling?
I feel like I get a sort of a discount on my rent for like living under his regime. we need to send the conversation in a different direction, I think, Drew.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. So have you, how familiar are you with the podcast?
Oh, I would describe myself as, I'm pretty familiar.
Okay.
Yeah, I've listened to, I listened, like, you've had a bunch of my friends on here,
Yeah.
Like Matt's been on 3 times, Trevor, you had Steberg on here a couple weeks ago. Those are all fantastic episodes.
Thank you. Good. Well, then we normally do the Wisconsin brewing, but I'm trying to include the rest of the world, Sam.
Yeah, you're branching out. I think that's really good.
So I picked up some Voodoo Ranger 8-hop pale ale.
Oh my gosh.
It's a 5.5 alcohol, 35 on the IBUs, which is kind of low. Kind of for an 8-hop pale ale, you'd think it'd be a little more hoppier.
Yeah, give me some context on the IBUs.
I'm pretty sure it's on a scale of 100.
Okay,
Don't quote me. I could be incorrect saying that, but I don't think I'm wrong. But yeah, the higher the number, the more bitter it is.
Sure.
So like your IPAs are really going to be higher in the the 70s, 65, so they get pretty bitter, pretty hoppy. So that 35 is pretty low, actually.
Well, this is an 8-hop pale ale. Now, is that the same as an India pale ale, or is there some sort of...
it must be a different brewing process, has more hops in it, or a different fermenting thing. I don't really know. I can give you some details, though.
I would hit me with the details,
All
please.
right, here we go. Well, first of all, this is from New Belgium Brewing Company, which is in Fort Collins, Colorado. So not even close to you.
Yeah, they do Fat Tire. That's like their big one, I think.
Yes.
Fat Tire.
Yep,
Yeah, that's
Tire.
that's one of my favorites. I really like Fat Tire.
Fat Tire is pretty good. This on the details, they say it's a brilliantly balanced for easy drinking. This pale ale is packed with citrus and tropical fruit flavors from 8 different hop varieties. So it is hoppy, but it's also smooth. Did you take a taste of it yet?
Let's do a little taster here.
Let's give her a go. It's pretty hoppy.
I think that's pretty bitter. I don't know.
Yeah, I would say I don't know how they do it, like how they.
Yeah, I don't know how you if you just have like somebody who's drank a lot of beer like take a sip and be like, oh yeah, that's a 33. That just seems really like unprofessional. I'm not sure if that'd be possible. There must be some chemical like tests they do. Wouldn't you think? That just seems ridiculous. That
a person at the end of the assembly line.
Yeah.
All right, take a sip of this one. Yeah, definitely a 35.
I'd give her a 35. Yeah. I don't know.
It's good. You can taste the fruitiness a little bit to it.
Definitely
not
getting
bad.
The fruity tones there.
I like the artwork. That's kind of what drew me to it. I really go based off of the artwork, and it's this one's pretty cool.
I think New Belgium sort of is a brewery that consistently kills it with the artwork on their packaging.
Mm-hmm. I'm not too familiar with them, but I've had Fat Tire now.
Well, even Fat Tires is kind of, the Fat Tire artwork is sort of just that bicycle or whatever.
Yep.
It's sort of very, very quaint. I don't know. It's very
it's nice,
aesthetically pleasing.
for sure. But well, I'm happy you're here, and I'm looking forward to having a conversation with you.
Oh yeah.
You were kind of nervous, I think.
Yeah, I was probably slightly apprehensive about coming on here, mostly because I feel like I'm probably not really qualified to talk about like much of anything at length. But
I've had some pretty good conversations with you, so I think
it'll be just fine. I feel
like you were the appropriate guest for it.
Well, excellent.
I like the way you present things. You have a certain vernacular.
Oh, geez, don't! You're making me blush. Just cut it out.
It's good. So, originally I was kind of planning on doing the scary stuff, but you said it doesn't really trip your trigger.
Well,
huh?
what? I guess I didn't really even ask for details. What?
No, that's all right.
What are your paranormal episodes? What do you do on those?
I just find pretty much just go like on Reddit, or I go on like conspiracy websites, or I
love Reddit.
Reddit is an interesting place. You can fall down a pretty crazy rabbit hole on Reddit.
I do every day.
Do you?
Yep. I'm a daily.
What are some of your subreddits?
Obsessive Reddit checker. Let's see. Well, I do like Reddit politics. I do all the sports subreddits.
Oh, really? Sports, politics.
You know what one I'm really into?
What's that?
Is like kind of a niche one. Is okay. So it's Reddit. Have you heard of this one? Reddit cringe pics.
No.
Oh my god, dude! No, you have to look at this. It's completely ridiculous. So what all it is Reddit cringe pics is just a subreddit where like primarily I would say females take these text conversations that like, random dudes have with them, and they're just like. They're the worst, most disgusting, like dudes that just like are texting them like outrageously sexual, like terrible things. And,
just trying to pick them up on like
Tinder
you're
trying to pick like there's a lot of Tinder on there, but it's just like I don't know. Once you start reading them, it's hard to stop. Like it's like watching a fucking train wreck, and you do cringe like internally. As you're going through that subreddit.
When I was in college, a lot of times, I'd have like a 2 or 3 hour break between classes. So sometimes I would have to go check my car to make sure that I didn't have a parking ticket. Because in Oshkosh, they chalk your tires with with chalk and your back tire to make sure that if they come back in like the 4 hours.
Oh, wow. So they're kind of Nazis about it.
Yeah, for sure. Well, it's a college, university area.
Has to be that way, probably,
unfortunately. And so I would always either wipe the chalk off my tire or move up 2 feet in order to do that. But there'd be times where I'm just like, I'm by my car. I'm just going to sit and, read a book or something in my car. It was a nice summer day or something. And one time I would fall down these rabbit holes, like in these Reddit conversations.
Right. Yeah, very easy to do.
Of text message exchanges. Yeah. And I would just be sitting there in my car alone, no radio on or anything, windows down, and I'm just laughing my ass off. And people are probably like, this dude is high as hell or something. So, yeah, it's definitely easy to fall down. Yeah, Reddit, though, is a good place for paranormal stuff. There's a lot of people who, like... share their experiences, which is pretty crazy. Like what
subreddit do you go to
I think there's one called Paranormal.
Okay.
There might be like a creepypasta one. That's more like fiction though than anything.
That creepypasta, that's like the whole Slender Man thing, isn't it?
That's where it
originated.
From. Yeah. Now they're making a movie. Well, I think it's more of a documentary on those 2 girls from Milwaukee.
That Slender Man story, I tell you what, it's horrifying. It really freaks me out. I don't know, the whole idea of like a tall, skinny man like that with those long fingers. Something about long fingers like that is just like really rubs me the wrong way. In, like, you ever see the scary way?
You ever watch the Babadook?
The what?
The Babadook.
No, what is that?
You have Netflix?
I do. Yeah, yeah.
It's on here. It's like a British horror flick. It's not really too much horror, more suspenseful. But there's this lady and her weird son. And they end up reading this story called The Babadook, and it's just about this creepy dude that fucks.
It has nothing to do with ducks.
No, the Babadook maybe it's called Babadook. It's one word. No ducks.
Okay.
It's not like
I was like imagining one of those sci-fi like the Sharknado things, like Babadook, like it's some sort of movie about like a crazy duck. That is not the case. That is not the case. Okay.
A mallard isn't knocking on the door and like trying to bust in your life. I hope this isn't still working. This computer is a pile of shit.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
I hope we're still working here.
We are.
Okay.
We're good.
A lot of great stuff just happened.
Oh, yeah.
In the last 30 seconds. So
I know.
I hate to lose that dialogue.
I'm working towards getting a new laptop. I had a good one, got taken away when I changed career paths.
Oh, so, that was tied to your job.
It was.
That is unfortunate.
So, yeah, it's a bit of a bummer. So this is my wife's laptop that she's had. Oh man, for a very long time.
Many a year,
and it's just it's a pile of trash. But it works for the time being. But anyways, yeah, Babadook, check it out.
Babadook, I'll have to look into that.
It's a decent movie. It's not too scary or anything more suspenseful than anything. I think I kind of prefer the suspense.
Are you a skeptic, or are you like sort of into the whole paranormal thing?
I love it. I'm into it.
You're into it. You believe that paranormal activity happens, and
oh yeah, for sure, absolutely. I
love that you have a very strong opinion on this.
Yeah, I potentially am going to be having a person come on in a few weeks, maybe next week. He's got a very compelling story that I've kind of heard. He has sent me some emails with EVP through a voicemail and stuff. It's pretty wild.
What is EVP?
I don't know. It's ghost talking essentially in a recording. I don't know what it stands for. I just know EVP is like, yeah, I'd have to electronic voice phenomenon maybe, or something like that.
Sounds very scientific.
Pretty much like you record and like when you play it back, you hear these disembodied voices. And this was from a voicemail, and it's wild. Like it is fucking just crazy. Like really? He was telling me the story. Yeah, it's I don't want to ruin it for him, but he's been just telling me some crazy stuff, and I was like, I'd love to record this and have a conversation about it because it'd be pretty crazy.
Well, yeah, it sounds like it'd be a great episode.
Yeah, but no, I do love. I love me a good ghost story. I'm really.
I thoroughly enjoy the ghost stories. I just don't know if I have a tough time.
You've never had
I guess I've never had an experience. No, I don't think I have.
I don't think I really have had I don't think I've ever seen a ghost. I feel like my dad lived in an old farmhouse, so we grew up on a farm for a long time.
Yeah.
My dad owned it, and it was a really old house, and a lot of weird stuff happened. Doors would shut, in the middle of the hallway. There's no draft. Yeah. There's no anything. Like the door would just close, shut.
Right.
Windows would close. One time, our heat got turned up to 95 degrees. It was in the middle of the night. We all woke up and we're just sweating our balls off. And my dad's like, "What the fuck?" And it was, it was an old house. It could have been wiring or something. There's always possibilities. But the weirdest thing, and my sister probably would deny it now, is one time she looked down the hall and freaked. I was like, "What?" And she's like, "I just saw a lady walking down the hall."
Well, that's pretty fucked.
Yeah. And then I was like, "Well, let's go outside." But I was always terrified of it. Like I'm not interested in it, but I think where I had to go ghost hunting with somebody, which I kind of want to do someday.
I would love to do that. That would be really fun. Yeah.
I think I'd be terrified.
I'd be terrible at it.
I'd hear a cat meow and I'd think it's a ghost and I would freak.
Right. Yeah. No, I don't believe in all that paranormal shit. At least not something I think about a lot, but I do get fucking scared all the time. Yeah. Even in this house, all the lights will be off. I live here by myself. I'll have to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night after just watching a scary movie or something. Yeah. And I'll do that thing where you fucking, get up and you start walking, and then the terror kind of grabs you, and you just start to scamper. You scamper to the bathroom, and then you scamper back to your bed and jump back in the bed. That still happens to me, and I'm
safe under the
fucking
covers.
26 now, so I've got to figure some of that shit out. But
I still don't watch scary movies before I go to bed because I don't want to have bad dreams.
Yeah, the dreams are horrifying. Yeah, it's no good.
Have you ever had and that's another thing. I don't know if it'd be a paranormal thing, but it'd be a thing lucid dreams are pretty crazy. When you learn,
when you can control your dream, right?
When you're aware that you're dreaming.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I've had a couple of those experiences.
So have I.
But they all happened when I was much younger, 13.
I've had them probably in the last few years, maybe once or twice. I remember once it was I knew I was dreaming, so I'm I can fly. I straight up said, I was like, "Hey, I'm dreaming right now. I'm gonna fucking fly," and I took off.
It was probably a really good dream, right?
It was crazy, yeah.
Badass,
it was fun. It was fun, but I'm really good at when I have a bad dream,
making myself wake up. Like so I don't know if I'm kind of, if that would be considered a lucid dream where like the last second I go, wait a minute, this isn't real, and I just eyes are open.
Yeah, that's a good gift.
It's like a weird awareness.
I have like a recurring dreams about this is kind of fucked, but like I have the same, like not exactly the same nightmare, but the same theme all the time, at least like once a month, in which I commit homicide, which is like crazy, God. Right? But you know, like I know, like I would never commit homicide. I'm not a violent person at all. But
I'm in this room by myself.
Yeah. You
never hear from
my
me
first victim. But no, I commit homicide, and then like I commit the homicide of like whoever. It's always just some like arbitrary fucking person. It's meaningless, and then I am like, that's like the beginning of the dream, and the remainder of the nightmare is me like grappling with like, oh my God, I'm gonna go to fucking prison forever. Like that's the complete rest of it, is just me like having the worst fucking anxiety about going to prison.
That's a horrible dream.
That's a really terrible dream. And then I'll wake up, and then I will wake up, and I'll be in my bed, and like I'll be in that weird half dream, half awake state, just thinking like, oh my fucking God, Jesus, like what the fuck am I gonna do? And then eventually I have that like moment of awakening where
clarity.
I'm like, clarity, where it's like, you did not fucking kill anyone, like relax. And then but it always feels really good when you do have that moment of clarity after a nightmare. Like it's almost kind of worth it. Like the relief is.
It is nice. Yeah, I've
really cool.
I have dreams all the time about me working. So it's either I was at any of the jobs I've ever had. So I've never had a dream about my current job yet. But a lot of times, so like when I was in radio, I would have dreams that I'm on the air, the computer is shutting down or whatever, everything's going wrong, and I'm scrambling.
Right.
And it's just silent, and then, or I'll have a dream that I'm back working at Walmart, but I'm still in the same current, like my current situation. So
your life situation is the same, but you're still
everything is the same. Even
you just didn't deviate that path.
Even I'm at my current job too, but I'm still like I'm doing like a one-off shift at Walmart or something.
Oh,
and they're just like, oh, you're back for a day, and it's really
celebrity guest appearance by Drew at Walmart.
Yeah, it's kind of, and I've had like that too with when I'm in high school. So like I'll be 20. I'm 27. I'll still be 27. 2 kids and everything, but like I had to go back to high school because of a credit that didn't process or something, and in order for my degrees,
I can relate to that one. Yeah, like I do have like weird high school shit happen. Like mine is always, I have like a dream like I dropped out, and like I'm 26 and I'm like grappling with my life after dropping out of high school.
Yeah,
and
it's weird.
I don't know. It's not cool.
No, it is. It's always like the same like thing is like I don't remember my locker combination, so I can't get or I can't find the class I'm supposed to be in, or I haven't, or there's a big paper due and I haven't been to that class.
I do. And then sometimes I have anxiety about the like tests and homework and shit.
You just wake up and you're just really stressed.
Yeah.
Like you just start the day off on a bad note.
Oh.
But yeah, dreams are crazy. I don't know if they necessarily mean anything, or if they're.
I'm totally in the camp of like they don't fucking mean anything at all. I would agree. I think it's complete just bullshit.
Yeah, I don't think like I would tend to agree with you. I just think it's more or less it's memories working with with things.
I don't know where I've heard this, and I can't speak to how true it is, but like I've heard somebody like equating dreams with like your brain basically like taking out the trash.
Okay.
Like that's like your brain just like cycling out a bunch of like nonsense bullshit, which I don't know.
I spent 9 years of my life working at Walmart, so there's a lot of
there's a lot of recycling that needs to be done.
Yeah, absolutely. So that could be. Yeah, I had a psych teacher straight up tell like our class, she's like, yeah, your dreams mean nothing. Like, don't read these books saying
but
like if you have underwear dreams, like a lot of these are just common motifs because we've all been through. Majority of us have been through similar experiences.
Right, yeah. I'm sure, yeah.
That's really what it comes down to, not everyone has the same experience, obviously, and they probably have different dreams. They probably don't have dreams of high school. They probably have horrific dreams.
Yeah, some really bad shit.
Yeah, but
I don't know if like, like you said you had a psychology teacher who was talking about that?
He's my teacher, yeah.
Yeah. I'm curious if there's still like, I remember certainly at one point there was like a camp in psychology who did like believe dreams are relevant. Like that was, I think that was like kind of a like battle between 2 branches of like psychological scholars or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Probably.
And I'm not sure if like I'm pretty sure at this point probably like the people who are saying it's all like random bullshit have probably won out. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm curious if there is still like a like camp of professional psychologists who are still sort of fighting for dreams are relevant. I don't know.
yeah.
I have no idea.
I see it all the time, and like people like make posts like, if you have a dream that you're running, it means you're running from a problem. And when I'm thinking my dreams, when I try to run, I can't. So it's like,
Yeah, I don't do a lot of running. It's just
I'll try, but I can't. Like I just go like I'm in like slow mo. I can't run, and I can't ride a bike in my dreams either.
yeah, it's kind of like I don't know. That's like me in real life with like working out. Like I'll like try to run or like
Yeah.
you know get it. And I just you know that's the thing is like here's with me and exercise. I just fucking can't.
I hate exercise.
I just fucking can't.
I need to do it more often. I was really hitting the gym hard for a long time, consistently for probably
Yeah.
like 8 months, and I've taken a little bit of a breather. I need to go back and start.
Yeah, no, I was in the best shape of my life around 23. When I was 23, there was like a stretch of like 8 months there, same as you, where I was like totally in like a 5-day a week workout routine.
Yeah, me too.
And I was fucking killing it. I still talk about it. I'm 26 now, and I still talk about that stretch of time as if it was last week. I still talk about that as if it was last week. But yeah, I don't know. It's really good. You know what the best thing I think about working out is and being in like a great
When it's
workout
done?
fitness regime? Not when it's done. You know, I think a lot of people would say like it's you know, it's looking good.
Yeah.
Sense of confidence. I don't think it's any of that. Honestly, I think the best part of being in a great workout routine and being fit is feeling superior to others.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, honestly, like when you are in a workout routine and you are fit and you look good and you walk by somebody who is not, that when that feeling of smugness washes over you, that is a special high that I have only ever experienced when I was 23 for that 8-month stretch, and I've never experienced it again because I don't.
You're
stay
right.
Fit. But there is, and I think that anybody who's fit and tells you they don't experience
They're
that same
lying.
level of smugness, they're totally full of shit. Everyone is like, yeah.
I see the way I see the looks I get when the people see me trying to work out. You know,
You think you get looks? You're a perfectly you. No one could tell it. You're not fit. Just I mean, you're
I got a little bit of a gut. Need to lose it. I need to shed about 20 more pounds. I'd be happy with that. But it's yeah. And then it's when you're using a machine and someone comes up to you and goes,
corrects your form or something.
corrects your form, where it's like,
Oh my god.
hey, how long you got? How long you gonna do? How many more reps? And I'm like, just fucking wait. Like I had one time like this big like dude. He's like, hey, do you think can I when you're resting like doing your off thing, you know, so you do a rep, you wait
Right. Sure.
for 30
sure.
seconds, do another one or
Absolutely.
whatever. He's like, you think we can switch? And I'm just like, I was like, you can just have it, man. He's like, you sure? I'm like, yeah, I don't fucking care. I'm just here to try to lose some weight. And and some people are very compulsive about it. And it's weird because they post about it every day, which is fine. You know, there's things I post about.
Fucking lame. It's lame, dude. The whole like
You're right.
The whole Facebook culture of posting about your like gym shit is totally fucking lame. It's just lame. And I'm totally not saying that from a place of jealousy. I just want to put that on the record. I'm totally not fucking saying that from a place of jealousy.
It's cool to see.
I don't think I am.
No, I don't think you are either. It's cool to see people's transformation sometimes. It can be motivational. It can be inspirational at times. But every fucking day when you're just like, oh, I get up every morning and I eat my avocado with no fucking toast.
God.
And I fucking put in some protein powder in my pancake mix.
Oh god, yeah, it's horrifying. Just listening to you mock that was enough for me.
And I always make fun of all the bros and stuff. Just like, I think that's maybe that's what makes me feel better about myself is I am in not that great of shape, and I look at these people, and I am jealous of the way they look.
Of course, yeah. Let's admit right now our jealousy towards people who are fit. I mean, let's just be transparent.
It takes a lot of work and dedication.
It takes a lot of work and dedication. You're absolutely right.
And they have it, and probably a slight obsession.
I think it's a slight obsession, yeah.
And but I know they're looking at me going, "You are the reason I work out because I never want to look like you." And then
I don't think they're looking at us, Drew. We're like we're fine. We're fine. You know, we're fine.
Yeah.
Like
but I'm just saying. But and then
we won't be in like 4 years if we don't change our ways. Like shit's gonna get bad for both of us.
Yeah, you're
like,
right. I lost 50 pounds last year, so
Holy fuck, that's pretty good, man.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
I need to lose some more, but
big old tip of the cap, sir.
Yeah. It's once you break the habit, man, once you dive back into old eating habits, it's hard to get out of. It's like a drug, man. McDonald's steak and egg bagel sandwiches
Oh
are just
my
so
god,
fucking delicious.
They are really delicious. I worked at McDonald's for like 5 years.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. And I sort of went down the rabbit hole, which is a phrase we're using a lot tonight, but I went down the fucking rabbit hole with those steak, egg, and cheese bagels, and I
love them.
That steak is, I'll tell you right now, it's totally fucked, man. It is not. I'm pretty sure it's not steak. Like once you've seen it frozen, and I totally worked there, and like I did see it frozen, and I still ate it all the fucking time because it is delicious. It's just greasy as fuck. You know what they do? They throw this disgusting. I'm sure it's like barely like FD. It's just rippled with like fat everywhere.
Yeah, probably.
And, and they're all exactly the same. So it's steak, but they're all in the same shape of like they're in the shape of like a kidney. Every single one is shaped exactly the same. The shape of a kidney.
Yeah.
And they throw it on the grill, and then they just take this margarine spray and they just you just spray the piss out of it with this margarine. So it's a steak, which is a fucked up thing because like obviously like throwing margarine on steak is just kind of fucked up to start. But like not only is that's McDonald's official policy towards the steak and cheese bagels. Put the kidney shaped little steak patty on there, and then just spray the piss out of it with margarine.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah. Have you ever watched those like food documentaries?
I watch food documentaries all the time. I watch food shows all the time.
I like the food shows. Like I'm like, have you ever watched like Food Inc. or? I
have not watched Food Inc. That is not one I've watched.
Food
is that
Inc.
the one about like the problems with America's food shit? Yeah.
Yeah, it's closely based off the book The Omnivore's Dilemma, which I had to read fucking like a million times. It was really weird. So like when I went to college for the first 2 years, the campus read was The Omnivore's Dilemma.
Okay.
So
I've not heard of it.
So like every class had something to do with the fucking Omnivore's Dilemma. So we had to read it. I had to read it over and over, write paper after paper about this fucking book. And then I had to watch. What is the thesis of the book? What is it trying to say?
Pretty
much like that. Just the food we're eating is garbage for us because like our cattle is now, instead of being grass fed, they're corn fed. There's E. coli in our chicken. There's just all this shit. You know, factory farms are bad.
Sure.
And things like saying like we don't consider animals' feelings or something. It's been a while since I've read it. I still have it, but I was just like, oh my God. You know, like you're just beaten over the head with this depressing shit. And you know what? I was like, at the end of it, I'm like, you know what? I'm still going to McDonald's to get me my steak and egg.
Right, yeah. At the end of the day, you really don't. You read all that shit, and at the end of the day, you still really don't fucking care. You know, it's hard to give a shit, and I don't.
It is hard to care. Like I always say, like, you know, like I'm not a big hunter. I think I personally would feel bad if I personally killed a deer, but I have no problem eating me some venison.
Yeah, no, not at all. And I think that's something that's interesting about hunting, like hunter culture, is that, and I'm not a hunter at all. I've never hunted in my life. But I think hunter culture is like people who are hunters do like really very much care about the preservation of the environment.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Absolutely.
I think they're almost more involved with it than vegans.
Yeah.
Not to, you know, I don't know. I don't necessarily have a real problem with vegans or anything, but
the stereotype about vegans is true, though.
It is true. The
They
stereotype
immediately, if someone's vegan, you're going to find out.
They tell you right away. Yeah.
And it was funny. My wife had this friend who, my son, you know, was, I think he was eating like a hamburger or whatever, and
right.
she was with us, and he's just being a little polite little kid. He's like, "Oh, you want some?" and she's like, "No, I'm vegan." And I'm like,
little girl?
No, this is my wife's friend.
Okay, gotcha.
Said that to my son.
Right.
So my son offered her some food, and she's like, "No, I'm vegan." I'm like, You think my 3-year-old kid
Has any
at the time
understanding?
knows what the fuck you're saying?
But I'll tell you what, she probably wanted to educate him.
Yeah. I was just like, all you have to do is say no. You don't have to fucking.
What she wanted him to do is be like, all doe-eyed, what is a vegan?
Yeah.
You know, and then just like give him both barrels on like, what.
Pulls out a pamphlet.
Right.
I got some literature that you can read about
that's
this.
probably what's going on. Not to disparage your wife's friend, who I'm sure is a wonderful person.
She doesn't. I don't think they really talk anymore. But no, she was fine. But I'm just saying, like, every time I've ever met somebody that's like even like vegetarian or something, they just include that. Oh,
Yeah.
you'll ask them like. Gas prices are expensive. As a vegetarian, I go to the gas station sometimes, and the prices are hiked.
As a vegetarian, I do go to the gas station sometimes. Like, as a fucking human being, you go to the gas station sometimes.
Yeah.
Like vegetarianism is not relevant.
They squeeze it into every single conversation. So
Yeah.
thankfully, I don't think at the time when we were getting beat over the head with the omnivore's dilemma, which is an interesting read. It really is.
I can't speak for it, but it sounds very, very interesting.
It's just I don't know. It's hard for me. Like when I'm reading a book, I more or less read because I want to be entertained. I want to be inspired, or I want to like kind of escape reality, I guess.
Right.
I don't want to be fucking hit over the head with some like hard shit.
Right, yeah. No, it's too much.
I'll go
It's
fucking
too much.
watch Law and Order SVU if I want to be depressed for a while.
Exactly.
Because that show is horrendous, but
That show is bad. That's the
special victims.
I
unit.
was gonna say sexual victims. Isn't there? No,
It's about sexual.
Is it about sex though? Is it like
Yeah.
sex crimes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't really bring myself to watch that stuff.
There's like well over 200 episodes.
Yeah, is
How
that the
can-
one with Ice-T?
Yeah.
Ice-T's in that one, isn't he?
Which is weird.
John, what's his name? There's a comedian. I bet you know him. John Mulaney.
John Mulaney, yeah.
Yeah, he's got a great bit about that.
Oh, does he?
About Ice-T, about how he's just like
Well, he was in Body Count. He has a band called Body Count.
Ice-T or John Mulaney.
Ice-T. And one of his songs is called Cop Killer.
Okay.
Same thing with Ice Cube. Ice Cube was in NWA, had songs Fuck the Police.
Right.
And he plays a cop in every single movie
Yeah.
he's in.
Well, that's kind of like the.
That's like the world.
I think that's kind of the stereotype, or like not the stereotype,
Full
but that's
circle.
like something people say about Ice-T a lot is that he kind of sold out, you know? And
I don't care that he sold out. I'm just saying, like,
I don't care either.
I just think it's ironic.
In fact, I'm glad he sold out because
Yeah, he's a good actor.
he's a good actor.
Ice
and like,
Cube's a
he's,
good
he's
actor.
humorous. Ice Cube is good. Yeah.
Ice Cube is always like the rogue cop type of thing. He's not like a stereotypical police officer, but
Ice Cube. God, he's at a couple like.
he's in Ride Along. He's in
Ride Along,
21
yeah.
Jump Street, 22
Yeah,
Jump Street.
Yep.
He's been in a lot of movies. He doesn't play a cop too often. Just recent pictures that he's in. It's a weird world. You
Yeah,
go from
something about me being a white man. I just really get off on watching these hard gangster ass rappers sell out to the Hollywood community. I don't know what it is. I'm just being honest. I don't know.
well, at some point you just have to see if you can make more money that way. And Ice Cube did it. Ice Cube did it. Dwayne The Rock Johnson. He went from fucking being a wrestler to
He's the best. He's the best.
He's a good actor.
He's a fantastic actor.
Yeah,
and I think he's just and beyond that, I think he's a fantastic person.
I would agree with you. He is a good person.
He seems like he's just on every level.
Yeah, for sure. I would agree. Did you see the new Jumanji movie?
No, I haven't. Although I have heard that it's like breaking records. Like people love it. The people love it.
It's good.
It's good.
I saw it. Yeah,
I'm gonna see it.
My daughter saw it 2 days in a row. So she went to go see it with my mom. My mom took her because she's like, I don't get a lot of time with just her and I. So she took her to a movie, and then the next day she wanted to go see it again. So
you went.
I went. Well, the whole family went. I took Ashton too, which was a obstacle for a little bit. So
Right. Yeah. Well, he's young, isn't he? Yeah.
he did okay though. We only had to leave for about 5 minutes, and then we went back in, and he was
Right.
fine. He kept telling the kid in front of him to be quiet. So like the kid would like go to his mom and talk, and Ashton would like get out of his seat and go shh. I'm just like, dude, chill out. You're fine.
Oh, that's pretty good.
No, it's a pretty good movie actually. I was skeptic because of course you and I grew up with the original Robin Williams.
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah.
a-
that was an amazing movie. So does this one kind of like? Is this one being like?
This one,
Obviously, Jumanji, the original, was kind of like, it had its funny moments, and it kind of like was somewhat tongue in cheek. But is this one like more so? Would you say?
yeah, this one
Obviously, you have fucking Kevin Hart and Chris Rock, or not Chris Rock,
The Rock, Dwayne
The Rock.
Johnson.
Excuse me, The Rock.
You got Jack Black in it too. So
Yeah, Jack Black. Is Jack Black a pretty relevant character? Or
yep, he's in the whole thing.
oh my god,
Yeah,
I
I love Jack
it.
Black.
Yeah, Jack Black's awesome.
It's definitely more like comedy driven than the original, but the original, it's like the jungle comes to
right,
the present
to the
world.
city. Yeah,
This one, it's
They go to Jumanji?
They go to Jumanji. They go to the jungle.
oh man, that does sound pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's good. It's like you don't need to see the first one to understand what's going on in the second one.
Right.
Like, it's
Well,
just-
they're not sequels. They're not
no,
like
it's
canonical
just-
or anything. Yeah.
just happens in the same world.
Okay,
the same
gotcha.
universe in a sense. You know, like you don't have to see every single. You know, I don't even know. I was gonna say Marvel movie, but I think you kind of do.
Wait, say that one more
Do you
time.
need to see every Marvel movie to understand every Marvel movie?
I don't watch any of the Marvel movies. I fucking don't care for superhero movies.
No?
No, I don't. You can. I can't get into it. I just
Not
can't.
even the Batman?
I just think they're fucking kind of corny. I mean,
Christian Bale? You don't
I'll tell you what. Okay, Batman is the one exception. Like I did really like the Dark Knight and all
Mm-hmm.
that shit. But like now that like all this Infinity Wars, Avengers shit, like I just
haven't seen
don't.
it.
I do not care. I just do not care. I just really don't.
I haven't seen anything past the first Avengers movie, so I'm pretty far behind. I've seen everything up until that point.
Okay.
And I have not seen anything afterwards. So
Yeah, I'm honestly-
Guardians of the Galaxy. That's a really good movie. Really fun.
I watched. I turned on Guardians of the Galaxy because I loved, obviously, like that was Chris Pratt's big breakout, right? It's after
little bit.
Parks and Rec. After Parks and Rec, obviously.
Yeah.
That was his big thing after Parks and Rec, and I loved him so much in Parks and Rec, and so I was really excited to see Guardians of the Galaxy, and so I turned it on, and I just was really kind of underwhelmed by it. And honestly,
Really?
I've been underwhelmed by, and this is a unpopular opinion, but I've been fucking underwhelmed by everything Chris Pratt's kind of fucking done since Parks and Rec. And I don't know if that's because like I didn't like Jurassic World. I thought his it was kind of like just
I didn't
know, it was
really-
fucking milk toast to me.
I watched a little bit of it. I didn't watch the whole thing.
I don't know. I don't know if I've set the bar too high for him because he was so unbelievably funny and good as Andy in Parks and Rec. But I
never got
I might
into
be
Parks
I might be treating him unfairly. I don't know. I might have to.
I started watching Parks and Rec the first season, and I just couldn't get into it. I just couldn't get into it, and
Really?
yeah. So
Wow.
I stopped. I've never really watched it.
Well, you're an Office fan,
I
aren't you?
love The Office.
I don't know how you couldn't get into Parks and Rec.
Well, my wife really likes Parks and Rec, so there's times where she's watching it and I'm just catching it, and I do find myself laughing.
yeah,
so
it's very funny.
So it's like maybe I need to give it another shot, and then
Yeah, I
Try it.
would give her another shot. Give her another go.
I watch The Office a lot. That's always like my background show to have on. So
It's the best.
and now Madison's starting to get into it.
She should, and here's the thing. I think it's totally appropriate for a girl Madison's age. I don't think it's not a dirty show at all, really.
No,
like,
there's some moments
some
where they
borderline shit where like, but
they talk about sex, but man, yeah, either
how old is Madison?
she's 9.
Oh,
I knew what sex was when I was
yeah,
9.
yeah. I mean, that's fine.
Yeah, I've never talked to her about it, and I don't really want to. So, but if she knows about it, she knows
Yeah.
about it. Yeah.
I don't think it's a big deal at all.
She recently told me she likes that show, so I was like, all right. And it's such like when a kid tells you that they like a show or they think a show is funny that you like, it's like a breakthrough, because then you go
Right,
from
you can-
watching fucking just the stupidest shit.
Inane bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they're like, "Oh, I like this show," and then you're like, "Oh, fuck, we're gonna watch it then." And the problem is, you watch it to the point where, oh, you've seen it all a couple times already, and then you're like, "Oh shit!" Now it's on the list of like fucking SpongeBob for me, even though SpongeBob is so funny.
SpongeBob is actually a fantastic show.
I love SpongeBob.
It's really funny.
We grew up with it.
Do you remember the big controversy surrounding SpongeBob?
him and Patrick holding hands or something like that?
Well, there was that, and then there was also the revelation that the writer of the show was a homosexual. That was a
is he?
big. He is. He's a homosexual. Confirmed homosexual. But no, that was
cares?
Who gives a fuck? Yeah, no, obviously. But like that was a big deal. That was back in probably early 2000s, right? I mean,
Okay, yeah.
I would say we're both the same age. Yeah, that was probably the early 2000s, must have been. And I remember that being a very like a big deal. And then I remember the people on the right end of the political spectrum trying to sort of say like this homosexual is trying to indoctrinate the children of America to the homosexual lifestyle. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, this is just a goofy show about a fucking sponge. Like, you're out of your mind. You know?
Gays use sponges.
Right, gays use sponges. It all makes sense now. This is part of the liberal conspiracy to subvert America.
But I mean, if you think about it, like Nickelodeon shows back in the 90s were incredibly
they were fantastic. Yeah.
Fantastic, but like the jokes in it, like holy shit. Like we look back,
they stand up to the test of time, I think.
Now they do. Now that I understand them, I was like, I appreciate it a little bit more. I like the kids movies that have the adult humor in it.
Right, yeah.
You gotta just have that.
You gotta have something to please the parents, such as yourself.
Like
take it.
Shrek, dude.
Shrek's a great movie. No matter how old you are,
they're all good. Yeah, it's been a while since I've watched them. Maybe
Donkey.
I love Donkey.
Donkey's great. Who doesn't love Eddie Murphy as Donkey?
Eddie Murphy hasn't been around in a little bit. I
think he's kind of laying low. I don't know what his deal is. I hope he does
stand up again.
He is hilarious as stand up. Yeah, he's dirty.
He is.
He's dirty. He's a little dirty.
He is. And I always say, there's jokes that he tells that I'm not really fond of, but I can still appreciate them because they're still funny. It's all in the presentation. So
exactly, he is a great stage persona.
Yeah, he really is. I'm a pretty big stand up junkie.
So. Oh, I'm a stand up junkie too.
Tom Segura's new.
Tom Segura is great. He's funny as fuck. Yeah.
Yeah, I love. You ever listen to him on like the Joe Rogan podcast? He has his own podcast with his wife.
No, I've not. I didn't know. Can I cut you off right there?
Yeah, go ahead.
Just the thing about the Joe Rogan podcast is that's so great is if you like someone and you just Google Joe Rogan and the person that you like, he's probably done a podcast with them.
Same thing with Mark Maron.
Yeah. Mark's great.
Mark Maron. I saw Mark Maron.
The WTF. You saw Mark Maron.
Yeah, me and my wife saw Mark Maron on his last. So the tour, the one that's on Netflix. I saw him. I saw him.
I actually really like that one that's on Netflix. I think it's really good.
I saw him on that tour. And it was pretty cool. Like he did a show in Milwaukee at the Pabst Theater, and apparently he thought like it wasn't selling well or whatever. But then it sold pretty well. Me and my wife got really good spots, really good seats in the first level and everything. Sure. And then after the show, he did his last joke, and then he's like, "Hey, this is normally where I cut it off, but it's a lot fuller than I thought it was. Anyone have any questions?" And he just opens up the floor for
what? Oh, that's pretty neat.
For a Q&A, And
yeah, he's a really cool guy.
Yeah, he did like an extra 30 minutes of just Q&A, so people would ask him, he just random ask questions, and he was he was even funny and all that. Like he's just a naturally funny dude.
Naturally funny person.
Yeah, he was really cool. I've seen him. I saw Kevin Hart. I've seen Daniel Tosh, Aziz Ansari.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. I saw.
Did you get?
No, I didn't have a bad date with him.
Right? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I kind of fall into that camp too.
I saw Aziz Ansari. Oh man, before he really
hit it,
blew up. Yeah, I think I saw him on the Dangerously Delicious tour. Maybe
Dangerously Delicious tour. That's like. I don't even...
A long time.
He wasn't even on my radar for that tour, I don't think.
It was before I met my wife. It was probably a good 7 or 8 years ago that I saw him.
Okay, sure.
Same thing with Daniel Tosh. I saw him, it was right after Tosh.0 started. I saw Daniel Tosh.
Okay. Or Aziz Ansari, is that what you meant?
I've seen both of them.
Yeah, okay.
Tosh and
Tosh.
I think I saw them in the same year.
Gotcha. I'll tell you what, this beer... it's pretty good. It's going down really smooth.
It is going down smooth.
I'll tell you what, it's not quite as tasty as though. It's not quite as good as a good old Tide Pod. I would much rather be sucking down a can of delicious Tide Pod fillings.
Do you use Tide Pods?
I actually have never used Tide Pods, but this whole Tide Pod,
they're amazing.
Obviously, I think all of America knows that by now. Do you use Tide Pods?
I have used Tide Pods consistently for years.
No way. So this whole fucking thing kind of fell in your lap.
Yeah, and I hope it doesn't ruin my laundry game because I fucking love.
Because you're a
Tide
fan.
Pods.
You're a fan. And
I
you
love
think they're
them.
effective.
They're amazing.
You just toss them into the thing.
It's just like seriously. There's you put your clothes in, you grab your little pod, you throw it in, and it washes your clothes, and they smell great. They smell great afterwards.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Amazing.
Those little fucking Tide Pods. And I've been thinking about this. I've never used Tide Pods, but I've seen Tide Pods in stores for years, and I've always thought those little motherfuckers look delicious. They do, and wouldn't you agree? Don't you agree that they look absolutely delicious?
I've never looked at them and gone like, I wonder what these taste like. Just because of the colors. That I've recently heard they're gonna put a law in place where they can't use the fucking.
No, you know
colors.
what? Actually, I'm glad you brought that up because last night I fell down the
rabbit
hole, which again, tick. It's like the 5th time we've said that, but I fell down the fucking rabbit hole with this Tide Pod challenge shit, and I was reading about it, and I found there's a couple videos out there of, and I'm not sure who they were. I wish I would have remembered their names, but elected representatives in America, politicians, I believe probably House of Representative guys. I can't imagine senators are talking about this, but and they're talking about this Tide Pod thing, and they're victimizing Tide. They're not victimizing Tide. They're vilifying Tide.
It's not their fault.
They're saying this is irresponsible. How delicious these Tide Pods look is irresponsible on the part of Tide.
It's been on the market for a long time.
For years. And I've always thought they're delicious, and I've never eaten one.
Yeah. Because you know it's
about
fucking laundry detergent. It says on the package, keep out of the reach of children. Any laundry detergent says keep out of the reach of children.
Keep it out of the reach of children.
Some kid's going to put it in their mouth. You know, so I put it high enough where my kids can't access my Tide Pods. I've never had a problem. Like, it's
Madison would probably love to eat a Tide Pod, wouldn't she? She's right at that age.
Yeah,
she's right at that age.
Maybe.
She's dying for it.
Originally, the challenge was, can you, like, chew it?
Yeah.
So it doesn't... So it doesn't break. Did you do it?
I'm a connoisseur of these Tide Pod challenge videos. So I've watched a ton of them. I'm a huge fan of the movement. So the vast majority of these Tide Pod challenge videos.
You have a wall of Tide Pod victims?
YouTube has since removed all these videos. Like, you can't even find this shit anymore. But like a couple months ago, you could. And I was right there with this this breaking and highly relevant news story to America. Like, I was on its heels the whole time. So I watched a ton of this shit, and like the vast majority of these videos are I would say like 12 to 15-year-old kids taking these Tide Pods, saying a bunch of like dumb, stupid, really shitty like things that are like totally you would expect a 12 to 15-year-old to say, like dumb, trying to be cool. And then they take the Tide Pod and they throw it in their mouth and they take a big old bite, and then they don't swallow any of it. Most of these kids are, you know, smart enough to realize that if you swallow this shit, you do die. So they just like they bite into it and they taste it, and it's just like the shit goes everywhere. It's a huge mess. And then, you know, I don't know, but
why are you doing it? Why are people doing it?
I don't know. I kind of...
Whatever happened to the ice bucket challenge?
Well, you know, it's funny you say. I was just going to bring that up. You know, and it's funny that the Tide Pod challenge is sort of framed in the same way as the ice bucket challenge and all this other shit. Because like the ice bucket challenge, first of all, you can complete the ice bucket challenge, and if you do the ice bucket challenge the right way, you will not die. If you do the Tide Pod challenge the right way, like if you pop one of these fuckers in your mouth and swallow it, you die. You just die.
You're dead.
You just die. You know, another weird part of this whole Tide Pod thing was fucking Super Bowl Sunday just happened, and Tide totally stole the show. Did you hear about this?
No, I slept during the Super Bowl.
I heard about that. Yeah, I watched your sports podcast earlier today.
Oh, thanks, man.
Just a little opposition research for tonight, but
yeah.
But anyways, yeah, no, Tide had like 4 huge commercials during the Super Bowl, huge ones, with the guy from Stranger Things, Hopper.
Okay.
Do you watch the show?
Yeah,
Hopper.
absolutely.
Yeah, he was on those commercials, and honestly, everybody that I talk to, you know, there's always the analysis of the Super Bowl commercials.
Yeah,
and for the vast majority of people that I talk to, they seem to think that Tide kind of stole the show.
Okay.
Ran away with it as far as quality of commercials.
I'll have to check it out.
And I can't. Yeah, you really should. Yeah, and I can't help but feel like the whole time, like, because honestly, these commercials were pretty fantastic. They were just like super. Obviously, every commercial in the Super Bowl is high production value, but these were just like super high production value and like fucking. They were funny, and I feel like the whole time Tide was kind of just looking at America and kind of just smirking a little bit, just like. You're not gonna keep us down. This Tide Pod shit, like, we're gonna be right back. This is no big deal.
It's stupid.
We're gonna brush this off. It is stupid, and it's totally not their fault. Although those Tide Pods do look fucking delicious.
Well, Tide's not the only one that does these laundry pods. Other companies do it. Other brands.
Tide's the only one that hasn't looked that delicious.
I guess so. You're correct.
We were talking about Reddit earlier, and while I was researching this topic.
You researched Tide Pods?
The Tide Pod Challenge. Well, I was like researching this whole debacle. I ended up encountering, this is pretty fucking weird. You know, we talked about our Reddit could get weird, and I wasn't sure if I was going to talk about this one on this show or not, but I'm going to talk about it.
Talk about it.
I found this subreddit that I believe it was called Forbidden Fruits. Okay. So it sounds pretty weird right off the bat. I'm pretty sure it's called Forbidden Fruits.
That was the name of like a Cinemax show, wasn't it?
Yeah, it sounds very pornographic when I say it out loud.
Softcore though.
Yeah, softcore, definitely.
You don't see penetration.
But so there's this subreddit, and I'm pretty sure it's like subreddit Forbidden Fruits. I'm not 100% positive. But so you go on this subreddit, and it's like a super low activity subreddit. It has like 1,500 subscribers, maybe. You know, it's like nothing. As far as Reddit goes, that's nothing.
Yeah.
And all it is completely fucking ridiculous. It's just posts. This is like it's hard for me to explain this. This is a subreddit for people who have what I would describe as like not a sexual fetish. Like, it's not necessarily sexual the way these people feel about this, but it's a non-sexual fetish about items that look delicious or look like delicious candy. This is, but are like totally inedible things that you will die if you eat. So like, let me give you an example. Like obviously the reason I stumbled onto this subreddit was because of how big Tide Pods have gotten, and it was kind of like a huge PR thing for this whole subreddit was like Tide Pods had finally made it on. Apparently Tide Pods had been a subject of discussion for this subreddit for some time.
Really?
Yeah. So let me give you an example.
This is like an in-depth analysis of Tide Pods right now.
Yeah, how long have we been going on? I'm going to keep going.
No, go ahead.
I'm going to keep going.
I'm interested.
Yeah, no.
I like it.
Really interesting.
I like the conversation that it's happening right now.
So I was on this subreddit, and I can't remember how I got there. But so like an example of in the way these people talk too was like, it was very odd. Like it would be one of those subreddits where like it's like I said, it's a low subscriber subreddit. Mm-hmm. So every thread has like 2 to 3 comments, like just kind of nothing, you know?
Yeah.
But I was reading through them, and like the way these people were talking about these items. So like, let me give you an example of another item that these people sort of fetishize.
I don't even know.
I'm not sure either. But so there was this picture of what was purple. What's that shit you put inside walls? What do you call that?
Insulation?
Insulation. Purple insulation. Okay. So like obviously you can't eat the shit.
You don't want to eat
it's not
that
food, you know.
No.
But like they had a picture of this package of like this purple insulation, excuse me, and it did look just like a delicious purple cotton candy. And like these people like that's what this whole subreddit was people finding things, that looked to be delicious candy and were instead things that would kill you if you ingested them. And so this whole Tide Pod thing, this was kind of like this subreddit's moment.
Yeah.
You know, like they were almost celebrating it on the sidebar there. They were, you know, they had like a big, like a Tide Pod thing. Like, we made it. We made it. You know, we made it. You know,
it's fun.
It was completely fucking outrageous. And I don't know, like I said, like, I don't think it was like, I don't think it was sexual, but like, honestly, it felt sexual. Like when I was perusing those comments, like some of it felt fucking sexual. I don't know how you make like inedible items I don't know how you make that sexual, but I think these people were doing it.
What's an item have you ever, besides Tide Pods, that you've looked at and you're like, you know, I kind of want to eat that? I can't really
That's a great
think of
question.
anything like that. Like,
Yeah, I don't really have that fetish, so I don't know. I
I don't either. Like, there could be like candles that smell really good. And
Yeah,
it's
something you think you like. Oh, I'd take a bite. I bet
Yeah.
it'd be tasty. But I know it wouldn't be tasty.
like, you just have
You just know it wouldn't be tasty.
Yeah, well, there's like a disease called or disease maybe called pica, where you eat inedible objects.
Sure.
Like one of my, it's a weird situation, I guess. Technically, I guess is my wife's aunt.
Okay.
Though my wife is much older than her, and she was adopted by her grandma. So technically, though, aunt.
Okay. Sure.
She had pica. Has pica. So she would eat like paper and stuff like that, like inedible objects.
Oh my god.
Weird, huh? Have you ever watched
is
like my weird?
My weird addiction or whatever.
Yeah.
It's become such like a internet meme that like I'm really familiar with it, although I've never watched it.
I've watched like a couple episodes, and it's like I forget what the one person ate like toilet paper.
Yeah, I did hear about the toilet paper one. Plastic forks and shit. There's an episode with like plastic forks. I actually
That's got to be rough going all around.
I
just
actually-
going down and coming out.
this show actually came into my life fairly recently. I was at work and I was on break, and I had a plastic food container, like a to-go container of some leftovers, and I just wanted. It was like I'm trying to think of what it was. It was like spaghetti. Let's just say it was spaghetti meat. It was a similar dish to spaghetti and meatballs, some sort of pasta dish. And so I opened her up, and I had my plate there, and I just thought, well, fuck it, we'll just plop her, just plop her right on there, get the whole thing. And so I did that, and as I did that, once it hit, the plastic container broke. And so I kind of went, all right, well, it's not a big deal, So I took it off, and then threw it away, threw the remainder of the plastic container away, microwaved my food, ate it, and as I ate it, I definitely ate what I knew was like a plastic shard and I was freaking out, like what the fuck's gonna happen to me. And so then I went online and was like on all those WebMD and all this bullshit,
You tell you're gonna die in like 36 minutes.
die in 30 exactly. And then I ended up stumbling on my Google excursion. I ended up stumbling across the My Strange Addiction, like this woman who just eats like plastic forks.
And you're
I was
just
like, I'm fine. Like this is a total non-issue. Like this woman eats them every day. Like if I die from this, I'm the biggest bitch ever. I will not die from this.
I refuse to die.
I refuse to
from
die.
consuming plastic.
Exactly.
Yeah, I've probably have consumed things that you're not supposed to eat. I've definitely have eaten paper before.
Paper is totally digestible, though, isn't
I've
it?
eaten a worm before.
Really? Mm-hmm. You dirty boy.
I swallowed it whole and then I threw it up.
Ugh.
Yeah, funny story. Not really, but things happen. I grew up on a farm. I definitely have had probably poop.
You grew up on a farm? You're a farm boy?
Kind of. Like if my dad owned a farm. So
Really? Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
yeah,
Was it like a active farm? Like
it was a dairy farm, but a goat dairy farm.
Oh, no way.
So yeah, I kind of have a hatred for goats.
Do you like to eat lamb?
I've never. Oh well, in euros, yeah, those are good.
All right. Well, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I like to eat.
Yeah.
I never had sheep.
Never like a lamb chop or something?
I don't think I ever have. No,
All right.
no, I keep it pretty cash with the eating.
The culinary business?
Yeah, I keep it to
The culinary?
I stay with the cows, but yeah, man. Well, thanks for being on the show.
Oh, geez. It was a lot of fun. I'm glad you had me. I'd like to come back sometime.
Oh, absolutely. I got to get another microphone and maybe we can do like a bigger group. I had an idea and I talked to Matt about it a little bit. I wanted to do a power hour one time.
What does that entail?
So we take one shot of beer every minute for an hour. We just do the conversation.
Sure, yeah.
Somebody's monitoring time, so we might have to have an individual off sides a little bit.
Yep.
We'll call them a producer, and they'll get us the shots every minute. We take it,
Sprinkle in a couple of real shots in there. And
yes.
you got a party.
So we do it. We just start sober, and we do. So essentially, you drink 60 ounces of beer, in an hour, and see where the conversation goes.
That'd be pretty fun.
Yeah, it'd be fun. I'd have to stay for the night wherever I was. Cause
of course. You'd be slightly inebriated.
The one and only time I've ever done it, I ended up falling asleep in in Ryan's bathroom.
Oh, really?
On 9th there.
Yep.
Their older house.
Yep.
And yeah, so it was funny because like Dawn walks in and just starts laughing at me.
Right,
'cause
yeah.
I'm passed out on the fucking bathroom floor.
Everybody's had some times in that bathroom, Drew.
It was a good house. But at the end of every episode, we do a thing where we go drink it or dump it. And when it comes to the Fort Collins, Colorado beer, now Wisconsin beer, everyone, where we're including the rest of the world now.
New Belgium Voodoo Ranger 8-hop pale ale. I'm
we-
saying drink the piss out of it.
I'm saying drink the piss out of it as well. It was good. So thanks, man.
Thanks, Drew.
Audio.